Okay, we have made some progress today. Sky is done. Well, it was last time we spoke. Now this bush in the background is completely done end to end. You know, these trees were mostly, well, they were painted but not quite finished. Now I wanted to work a little bit on these last few. They're done. Filled in these shapes with basically the same colors as the trees. I like how it breaks it up. It has its own design. It's placed well, I think, in general. Very happy with that. I had to harden some lines. I had to soften others. I had to get rid of still some others as well. Even this little stump, you know, this little stump, the line on that side of it was just slightly too thin. I had to thicken it because it just looked too weak. Actually, both sides. I gave just a hint of darker outline, strengthening it. This rock, it was very sort of vaguish looking. The lines needed a bit of hardening as well. I had a sort of a large mass of ho-hum gray. I broke it up a little bit by darkening a couple of the lines on it and then going in with more of the grays here and here so that it wasn't sort of a boring mass. The water's not finished yet, but it was getting a little bit dark here. And I like these lines over here up top, but down here I thought we could do with just more of a mass rather than lines. And I wanted to bring some light, raise the values against these trunks and this rocky edge to bring more importance, more drama, I suppose, difference between high value and low value. That strengthened that. Very happy with that. The water I still need to work on. I will probably introduce a little more of this darker purple in a few spots, but I'm not going to get rid of this greenish stuff down here. I'm going to leave it in to some degree. Now, when I look at the painting, I'm just going to step back here a minute. When I look at it from a bit of a distance, I see that point of land coming in from the left. It's quite a mass. It carries a lot of weight. And I'm comparing that mass to the mass on the lower right-hand side. The mass of rock on the lower right-hand side, well, let's face it, we're pretty much standing on it, you know, or just behind it. And so that needs to be the strongest and the closest. And in this case, dark represents stronger, heavier mass than the light does. So, well, it usually does. Now, I know that I mentioned that when I was painting these rocks, I wanted them, even though they're still in the shadow, I wanted them somewhere between these rocks and those rocks regarding the values. I ended up going fairly dark, a little too dark, which is fine. Better to do that than to go too light. Another thing, though, is that these seem very two-dimensional. Even though they're darker, they seem two-dimensional. They need touches of light here and there, maybe graduations of color slightly as well. We'll see. It's not going to take too many strokes. But I'd like to bring this more into the midground value-wise between this and this. We need to come in the middle. Right now, this represents this too much. It's still too dark. We also have a fair bit of dark here, you know. So this chunk here, this mass, has a lot of weight to it. Pretty much as much weight as this does. We want to lighten the load a little bit here. Something that looks visually heavy tends to punch down on a painting. I don't want it to do that quite so much. It's close, but I think I know I need to work in here. Also, I think the rest of this is pretty much okay, these trees. This red tree, though, I know that I've used cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, cad red medium, and a bit of white. But when I look at the appearance of it, really, it just looks like cad red medium toned down to a sort of a pre-mixed to a mauve, a bit purple because there's a bit of cobalt blue in it. And under here a bit of ultramarine blue. But in general it's just two-dimensional, you know? It's two-dimensional. I need to make it to look a little more three-dimensional. This becomes very cartoonish right now, this bush, to my mind. This is not cartoonish anymore. So I need these two to fall in line with each other. I'm not going to simplify this. I'm very happy with this. So what I'm going to do is complicate this so that these two have more of the same nature, more of the same texture, I suppose you would say. So between making this a little more interesting, varying the color slightly, probably warming it up, cooling it down in spots. I don't know that the value will be much higher. The values, they might be a touch higher just in a few spots. But it'll stay the same. It'll just become more, well, more rich, shall we say. You know, I should take a few strokes and maybe some strokes should have more cobalt blue mixed in. Other strokes should have more cad red mixed in. It's just too simple. I like the cartoonish look, but not too much. Not in this painting, because I haven't done it here. So between this bush and these rocks, just a few strokes here and there, because that's all it's going to take. They have to be well placed. I think that'll do the job for that. And then tonight I'm going to play in the water. Who knows? I doubt that I'm going to finish it tonight. I doubt that very much. But we're going to bring this pretty close. Anyway, we're almost there. Next time you see it, the painting will be, it'll be finished. And I'll be ready to take it upstairs. I'll do the work that I just described, put a signature on it, and drag it upstairs with me. I'm really happy with it so far. Once it's done, I'll do some zoomies. I'm not going to do it now because there's no point in it at the moment. But once we're done, I'll zoom in a few spots, show you, and we'll go over the colors. We will revisit the colors, and I'll describe them to you. You know, not every little brush stroke, but very generally. I think that's it for the moment. Hope your weekend's going well. Mine's going great. See you soon.